You are lying on the ground. It is dark. Something is wrong with your leg. The bone is not where it should be. The pain is unlike anything you have ever felt. And the nearest hospital is 300,000 years away. But someone is coming. They kneel beside you. They do not panic. They have seen this before. They press something cold and wet against the swelling. They speak in a low, steady voice, and slowly, the fear in your chest begins to loosen. You do not know what they are doing, but you trust them. This is all they do. That person had the first job in human history. Not a farmer, not a soldier, not a king. Those came much later. The first specialized role a human being ever held was this. The one who knew how to keep you alive when your body was failing. Think about what that actually means. For most of human history, there were no jobs. Everyone in your group did the same things. You made fire. You helped carry the children. No one had a title. No one had a specialty. Survival was a shared project. And everyone pulled equal weight. But the human body broke that arrangement. Because the human body is, in evolutionary terms, a disaster. You are born completely helpless and stay that way for years. You get infections. You break bones. You give birth in ways that are genuinely dangerous, far more dangerous than almost any other primate. And when those things happened out on the open savanna, 300,000 years ago, the group had a choice. Let that person die or find someone who could help. The groups that found someone who could help survived longer, had more children, passed on more knowledge, and over tens of thousands of years. That role became permanent. One person in the group whose entire purpose was to know what the body needed when it was falling apart. Tesaman, Tealer. The world's first professional archaeologist, David Lewis Williams, whose research on prehistoric cognition changed how scientists understand early human society, argues that the healer occupied a completely unique position in early human groups. They held two things no one else held at the same time: physical knowledge and social authority. They knew which plants reduced fever, which roots stopped bleeding, how to set a broken bone, how to talk someone through a dangerous birth. And crucially, the group recognized that knowledge as irreplaceable. The physical evidence for this goes back further than most people expect. At Shanidar Cave, in what is now Iraq, Ralph Soletsky's excavations uncovered a Neanderthal burial approximately 65,000 years old. Surrounding the body was pollen from multiple plant species, several of which are still used in traditional medicine across the Middle East today. Ephedra, groundsel, grape hyacinth. Whether this was intentional or not has been debated for decades. But what it tells us is that even before modern humans dominated the earth, our closest relatives were already sorting the natural world into useful and not useful, already building a pharmacopoeia, already laying the foundation for a healer's knowledge base. And at Sima, de los Huesos in northern Spain, researchers found something even more striking: the skeletal remains of early humans who had survived serious injuries, healed skull fractures, degenerative conditions that would have made independent survival impossible. These individuals had been kept alive. Someone had known how to help them. Someone had made it their business to know. Tatisajob, not in the modern sense. There was no salary, no contract, no business card. But there was a recognized role held by a specific individual, compensated by the group in the only currency that mattered then: protection, food priority during scarcity, freedom from the most dangerous tasks. James Suzman, the anthropologist who spent years living alongside the Juwanzi Bushmen of the Kalahari, documented exactly this pattern in one of the last surviving forager societies on Earth. Healers accumulate knowledge, not objects, and the group keeps them safe precisely because losing that knowledge would be catastrophic. That exchanges with the group, collective protection returned to the individual, is the DNA of every job that has ever existed. Here is the twist. We have always told the story of work backwards. The standard version goes like this. Hunter-gatherers were generalists. Then agriculture created surplus. Surplus created hierarchy. Hierarchy created specialization. And specialization created jobs. Work was a product of civilization. But the healer breaks that story completely because the healer emerged inside hunter-gatherer society thousands of years before the first field was ever planted, before the first city was ever built, before anyone had conceived of civilization at all. Specialization did not come after survival was secured. Specialization was how survival was secured in the first place. The first job did not come from abundance. It came from pain. Every role you can name today is a variation of the same ancient deal struck on the African savannah in the dark. I have a skill your group cannot afford to lose. You keep me alive so I can keep using it. The surgeon and the software engineer and the teacher and the chef are all at their korridverstiller de trading specialized knowledge for a place inside the group. You wake up. You have somewhere to be. A task waiting. A role that belongs to you and no one else. So did they. For 300,000 years, in every band of humans that ever walked this earth, someone always did. The difference is, they never had to ask what their job was worth. When you are the only one who knows how to keep someone alive, the answer is everything.